Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Again. That's Delete. I am Travis. It is Wednesday. That means it's time for AEW Dynamite.
Hello.
Looks like we got Edge out there right now with, I can't tell who the guy is in
Claudio.
the corner. Well, no, I know those two.
Oh.
Claudio and the Deathpool Combat Club, but there's somebody in that corner.
Oh, they were beating up somebody. Jay White.
Oh, Jay White.
They were beating up Jay White.
Anyways, we had a little bit of a issue with our stuff, so I was just trying to fix that.
Our wireless was not wireless.
I couldn't hear anything. I was like, I don't know what's happening.
Our wireless was not wireless this thing with us.
Moxley.
Richard is in the chat. Says, let's get ready to watch Tony Khan suck it. And then Walter's with us as well. Says, hi, Travis, hi, down. Hey, Walter, did you win bingo today? Did you win the bingos?
And bingo was his name.
Oh.
You and me, what all?
Sophie's in the chat as well. Says,
hey,
hi,
Sophie.
welcome back. A long time no see. And Chris says, hey, guys. And Walter says, Stephanie, good news. I've won bingo. Okay, 9, I'm going. I'll be here Monday for Raw. Did you get your prize today for bingo, Walter, or do you have to wait until tomorrow?
For what surprise?
Sophie's like, where were you guys Monday? Travis, would you like the honors of saying where we were on Monday?
I was sitting in my front room because I didn't want to watch a whole half hour dedicated to some mid-card dipshit on my television.
We were boycotting Raw due to them letting Jay Doofus win stuff.
Absolute bullshit. And
Janelle
I'm usually not against stuff like that, but at some point, like, Triple H needs to learn at some point that that is trash.
Yeah. Nobody cared of that. 2 on 2. Janelle is in the chat. Says,
No
hi.
rules, anything
Walter
goes.
says, yeah, the AEW Dynamite. Sophie says, they knew Jey Uso was going to win the Rumble since December. Oh, is that what's coming out?
1 month. Yeah, it's absolute garbage, and I
So
think a lot of it has to do with McAfee and his popularity, and it's just weird that McAfee would have that much pull.
So if they knew since December, that tells you, oh, it's all fake. It's all a setup. It's not real. It's a soap opera of fakeness.
No, there's no such thing as...
They scripted it all.
There's no such thing as that.
Chris says they didn't watch that crap on Monday, Sophie. You kidding me? Sophie's like, Cleveland internet was the reason Netflix glitches a lot on Monday.
Yeah, I heard it was terrible. I watched it. I just didn't watch it on here. And when Jay was out there, I had it muted, so I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, because we didn't care. I didn't even watch it.
I did see Charlotte, and I did see Charlotte on Tuesday night as well. And she will be there Friday.
Chris says, yeah, I'm not watching Raw, man. Like, I refuse to watch the son or a fat ass win the Rumble.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not letting that happen.
Vindicator's in the chat. Hey, Vince says a SmackDown hat on a Dynamite stream. Shame, Travis.
It's just because it's on me. It was right there. I'm too lazy to get up and get another one. Will Ospreay has to wrestle some member. Doesn't matter who.
Just somebody. Chris says they brought on Joe Hendry and everyone to look like Jobber to Jey Uso. Sophie says, I think you are the only YouTube watch-along channel that boycotted Raw because of them having Jay winning.
Gotta do it. You can't just take
I step
anything.
and sit with my beliefs, Sophie. I do not pander to the man of WWE. Chris says NXT was great. You guys might want to watch also if Fandango showed up in NXT.
I watched it. I watched the whole show last night. Well,
Travis
most of
watched it.
I missed like the first 20 minutes.
He watched most of it.
Yep.
I was there. I kind of paid attention, but me. Sophie says they planned Charlotte winning since last summer.
Well, yeah. I mean, Charlotte is a necessity.
Sophie says they're setting up CM Punk versus Roman versus Rollins for Mania.
No, bitch. That's very funny. Saturday.
Yeah, that.
I just want to see the Sharks. Like, why wouldn't they show the start time? I'm like, fuck you people. Figure it out. Even WWE puts that time.
Well, we have that like TNT and Stream on Max. What's that?
You should watch it on TV or Max.
Oh.
Like, we could watch this on TNT right now.
So it's just a regular show? It's not a pay-per-view?
No, this.
No, that 15th, that Grand Slam
Oh.
Australia. It said Saturday, February 15th.
It's on TV.
TNT slash. So I didn't know what they meant by that.
I don't know anything about it.
Chris says that Izzy Dam looked like a streetwalker last night, man. And Sophie says, I didn't mind Jay winning. I don't know why. There are a lot of people that hated the decision. Vindicator says, I bet by the end of the year, Travis will warm up to little Miss Roxanne Perez. Clearly, that company will put their ladies division on her back.
No. There's no fucking way. She can't talk. She's incapable of speech. It's like you can't put the company on Asuka. You can't put it on EO. Even though they're talented, she's not talented. She doesn't have what Asuka has. But she has no language skills. She has no speech. It's so you can't. What do they say? Connect your wagon to it or whatever.
Can't hitch her.
Hitch. That's the word. You can't hitch your wagon to her. I mean, and they better get all the miles out of her now. By the way, because her whole body's gonna change in the next 7 years. Come back to this moment and look it up.
Richard says, I wear a tinfoil hat when I watch AEW. Is your sound working?
Yeah.
I stopped it.
Your battery, right?
No, it was at 75% or whatever.
Oh, that's it. You sure it's not working at all?
It wasn't working at all.
That's it.
Yours isn't working.
It's working. Now it's not.
Yeah, mine didn't have sound for like a minute. It has sound now.
Oh.
Like,
No, it's.
Well, I understand they're doing stuff, but like while he was coming out, Will Ospreay, when he was coming out, like it was dead silent in my ear, and I was like, "What? That's not right."
Bruv.
Bruv.
Here it comes. Mark Davis is a new member. Well, their audio is fucking terrible.
I hope it's their audio, because I'm like, I hope it's on our stuff.
Why do they have nobodies on my television?
I guess it's his friend.
Like now, all of a sudden, he's part of the Callis family when he was fighting the Callis family like 2 weeks ago.
I guess. Nobody cares about this. So stupid.
What the fuck, dude? Tony, seriously, man. It's not that hard.
It must be. It's gotta be that hard. Somebody's like, funny, Charlotte appearing on all 3 shows while Jay is going to appear on both Raw and SmackDown. Aaron is in the chat, says, hey guys, sorry, I hope Punk wins the chamber. Chris says, they wasted good taxpayer money on the state of Indianapolis to fill up a stadium to allegedly fill it up to 60,000 plus largest state, according to them. Fuck off.
That's because they charge more and more money each time. That's why they keep breaking records on gates. Eventually, just nosebleed tickets are going to be over $1,000.
They're going
until somebody stops buying it, and then they'll bring it back down. But that's what they're going to do. They're going to just keep pushing the price up, until the market dictates it, and then they'll bring it back down. But just to where people buy it again.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I used to go to wrestling events when they were $200 for front row. Now it's $750 for the very far back. Right now, like if you look up WrestleMania tickets, if you can even find one,
right,
they're over $800.
Yeah. Aaron wanted to say Logan Paul is the future of WWE. As somebody
Could
says,
be if
Raw,
he decides to stay.
Right. So it says Raw wasn't that bad on Monday. They had Elimination Chamber qualifiers. You know what? I thought it was all shite.
I watched it, but it
I
wasn't.
watched some of it and I was like,
Yeah,
barf.
I watched the show. I just didn't. I muted it during the J segment.
Chris says, plus a lot of people love Stephanie before right now, but they will turn on her.
I like her.
People is in the chat now.
Dude,
Hey, people
so
says hi everyone. Hey,
she has something a little special that the other girls don't have. I mean, obviously there's a few that are articulate, but she knows what she's saying in English, even though it's her second language. But how she articulates it, she sounds almost like a lady Dracula.
Oh, yeah.
She's very articulate. She's slow at talking, but what she says is very. It draws you in. It's very magnetic, and so even last night when she was talking, it's just like you kind of want to hear her keep talking.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that can make you go, hey, I want to hear her talk more, and then you go look it up or whatever else. That's a big deal. So she has a little bit more of an it, where Julia Gulia has, she can't really speak. She tried to speak to Bailey and Perez last night, but she failed miserably. And then Charlotte came out, kind of took the time away from her, anyways. But she has like a very foreign beauty to her.
Mm-hmm.
But so does Valcour.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yep.
But I think Valcour is the better of the two, futuristically. And if they use it correctly, they could. And I don't want them to do any vampire shit. I'm just saying that how she talks, it's very, very gripping. My audio went out. I haven't had audio for like 10 minutes.
Oh, mine's working.
What'd you do?
I just turned it off and turned it back on earlier.
When it stopped working.
When it stopped working. When they came out. I wonder if we need to go through and like take off all those other ones or something. Like delete from the stuff.
Right. Got a bruise or a birthmark or something on the side of his leg. Will Ospreay, phenomenal forearm.
Yeah, I don't know if that's them or us.
What? Something happening there?
Mine buzzed and then
Yeah.
went out.
I didn't hear mine. No, it's going
That.
out. Dynamite. I like Dynamite. The text looks really good.
Yeah.
Never actually looked over there.
Sophie says the next time we will see Cena on WWE TV is on March 1st at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view.
Perfect.
I wonder if it's app.
I mean, I'll get up.
People says I had some hamburgers and just finished up in the kitchen. Nice hamburgers. Sophie says I was shocked by Jay winning and the backlash I got from fans.
Oh, it's disgusting.
I'm not surprised by the backlash.
Absolutely
I
disgusting.
find it gross what he did by having him win, though. That's fucking nasty. Vin says, yes, Aaron, either Logan Punk or CM Paul will be the future. Chris says, I did a little bit of super sleuthing. Stephanie thinks she can run to WWE and hide from her problems back in Mexico. No. LOL. So apparently she had some accusations of domestic violence.
That's awesome. She's
People
whooping people's ass.
People says, oh, Mark Davis, what happened, buddy? Sophie says, so you guys going to boycott the WWE forever now?
No, probably not.
People says, he must have been paid off by Phelps. Vindicator says, interesting, they got Ospreay facing his old, out-of-shape teammate. And People says, yes, Sophie, and ever, no, and then. Chris says, I don't know for sure if she went through something or if she retaliated. I could barely understand. My Spanish can be better, LOL, based on vids I saw. Ah, interesting. And Sophie says, New Day also finally debuts new theme music and Titantron. But they didn't debut a new name, which I feel like they need a different name. Vindicator says, speaking of out of shape, Travis, you see all the hoopla about Luka going to your favorite team, the LA Lakers.
Fuck That's funny. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that. Chris says, yeah, I will be at AEW Collision. My ticket was basically $80 for floor seats, but super front row VIP is $300.
Shit, that's, I mean, it's still expensive, don't get me wrong, but
At least
awesome.
it's affordable to go to one of them. Sophie says, so you guys would have hated the result of the men's chamber if anybody else have one that wasn't Jey Uso.
What? Why would I want Jey Uso to win?
So
he's a fucking tag team wrestler.
So you guys would have hated the result of the men's chamber if anybody else have one that wasn't Jey Uso. Are you saying that we wouldn't have hated it?
Yeah, no, Jey Uso is a tag team wrestler who needs to stay in the tag team division, and at most he's a mid-carder. What they're trying to do is say, hey, look, we're trying to see what will happen when we put a title on him, which will probably be against Cody. And the only reason I think that, I wasn't going to talk about that. The only reason they're even going to try to put a title on Jey, I have a feeling, is so Sami Zayn can win a fucking title, which is even more disgusting. Even though he's a singles wrestler, it's to make a little bit more sense when Sami turns on Jey to complete their story. But still, nobody wants Sami to be a champion, and nobody definitely wants Jey to be a champion. And then they're taking it off of Cody or Gunther to do it when they have all that other talent.
Yeah.
They have so much talent that they don't know what to do with it.
So they're going to put it on garbage.
So instead,
or tag team guys. It shouldn't even be that.
What next? Jimmy Uso going to be the freaking U.S. champion or something? Jesus.
Right. Somebody says, funny that there was no NXT male talent in the men's rumble. Sorry, talking about the WWE, but since you guys weren't here on Monday, I didn't have anywhere else to talk about it.
No, you're absolutely 100% fine. You know, the thing with the men in the rumble is they don't need them, and there's only like 2 men in the entire AEW locker room that would be worth watching in the rumble.
He said he meant NXT, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, in all reality, there's only 2. There's like Oma Femi and Trick Williams.
That's it. And they tag teamed up last night together. But those are the only 2 that are worth anything. And they're like 4-star out of 5 athletes.
And they have stories going on already that there's no reason to put them in.
Well, no, and that's the thing. But the women's division down there, you can go to the 12th or 13th, 14th best woman down there, and they would still be a top 3 on Raw. Or SmackDown. Raw and SmackDown are starving for women talent.
People says, so territory managers, for example, Gary Hart was an evil dude who paid off Ronnie Garvin to beat up and interfere with Dusty Rhodes at Bash 88.
That's a fact. That was great wrestling back then.
People also said, I just assume TK likes to borrow some old school angles, right? So he says, I think you boycotted the WWE before, but I don't remember why.
No. I mean, obviously we missed it around New Year's, but this is the first episode I missed where it was live, things were happening, and I was like, fuck that.
Vindicator says, I almost want to see Davis versus Samoa Joe, big man slapping meat, but I guess that is not a popular thing anymore. It's so 2022.
Oh, I know.
Sophie says, do you think Randy Orton will be back?
Yeah. I mean, unless he did something to his back, or something's going on in his family life, you know. I don't know what his personal issues are.
Right. Piccolo says to Chris, you better have a pink headband or something flashy so we can recognize you next week or whenever.
Yeah.
Does your sign?
We need a sign. Yeah. We need a sign.
Mine's working.
I'll have to figure out how to get rid of those. They don't have a
delete.
Oh my god, it's so steel. There's so much steel. Something.
Oh. Do you want me to look?
Sure, if you want to. Yeah, if not, I was just going to take a picture of it and say hi. That's it! Boom! Mid-card Osprey now. Not even mid-card. middle card, pre-card, pre-middle. What the fuck are they doing to Will Ospreay? Oh, Don Callis is beside himself with frustration. He's probably upset J1 also. Throw chairs and shit.
Right.
Coast to coast. So immediately following the NBA All-Star Saturday night. Yeah, 1 week from Saturday. Looks like it's just going to be on TV.
Mm.
10 nights from now. So how do the fans know to do this? Do they watch some old videos of him on the internet or something and then say, okay, this is what they do? I've been watching this shit since it came out, and I don't remember that cheer ever. So you just not pronounce all your words? Is that how you speak English?
Yes. Oh, party pooper. Yeah, literally. I think that's all you do. Okay. It doesn't say anywhere in there. It doesn't look like how to delete them. Like unpair, connect or disconnect, but not to
this is my friend.
remove them.
He's my pal. His name's Kenny Omega.
No, not Kenny Omega.
Can't say it fast, bro.
You gotta talk.
Talk real slow.
You gotta talk very slow.
If I try to talk
Oh, Chris says also my boy Daddy Magic is going to be there, and his tag partner Angelo Parker returns. He left after having a kid, Ruby Soho. Oh, that's cool that they'll be back so you can watch them. People says Daddy Boo Thang. Sophia said if Jay wins the championship, I don't see him holding the championship for that long. And why put it on him?
So we can say that he's had a title, bro.
Chris has I hope the Outrunners will be at Collision. Vindicator says Spawn still has that company by the balls, though. Always gets whatever she wants, no questions asked.
She doesn't need to ask questions, bro.
Sophie says they made a deal with Bliss at 3 a.m. on Saturday morning, hours before the Rumble. If Bliss didn't come back to the Rumble, Shotzi Blackheart would have taken her spot. Did you hear Drew all was pissed about how he got eliminated?
I think the whole thing was stupid. They had so much talent in that match, and they went with fucking Jey Uso. They shouldn't even have had other people in it.
Yeah, they should have just gave it to him.
And if you want to gripe, let's gripe about the women's. The men's is bad enough, but the women's, how they just eliminate them all, and they kept this NXT girl in there for long enough to break Bayley's record, so it could set up a Bayley feud when she's absolute trash. Mm-hmm. Nobody there knows who she is. They're like, who's this broad?
Nobody gives a flying fuck. And the fact that she didn't do anything, all she did was sit in the corner, lay down.
That's kind of
over in the corner the whole fucking time. Fuck off.
And then they eliminated Bianca way too early. Bianca was a favorite. Bianca should have been the last 2 or 3 in that match.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have liked to see Jade Cargill show up. Not in the match to wrestle, but in the, just pop up. And then Bianca would be like, her eyes get big, hinting that she's excited to see her, but maybe she did it. Oh fuck, and then Charlotte pushes her out. Mm-hmm. Not the second, so it's a feud between them, but before, or even anybody else. They could have had Natalya push her for a second.
Right. Chris says, not to mention Julia Gulia and Stephanie were basically pimped out by the promoters, Stephanie from Mexico and Gulia from Stardom, Japan. They started that new Marigold promotion. Sophie says on Raw they confirmed AJ Styles' move there. Pico says,
Yeah.
OMG, can we move on? I believe it could have been an internet issue or family emergency. Frozen song, let it go, let it go. Vindicator says, that's funny. First time in a while somebody got dropped for an instant loss while whining to the ref. Oh, how embarrassing. Chris says it's said that the promoter brought Julia over to WWE and is doing shady contract stuff and also accusations to their women over in Japan. Phil's like, we know Will is on a streak. Sophie says Marvel dropped a teaser trailer for the new Fantastic Four movie. Phil says he's not losing to this Aussie jabroni. Chris says some things just don't ever get reported. I guess that's what makes these women strong. Like how I said about WWE with Vince, there may be some women who have had things happen, but they just don't care. Sophie said at least The Rock didn't show up at the Rumble, as most fans predicted for months and came out when. Travis wanted Ric Flair, so I don't know where you've been. Vindicator's like Ospreay first non-5-star match of the year, although had to happen at some point. Still hope him and Omega are in the main event in Australia. Pico says, oh, Sting is sitting up front per usual. Oh, he's there again, huh? Nice.
A lot of gun violence on this show.
Chris says, or not, that they don't care. They just have thick skin to where they don't let sexual advances get in the way of having success in their career, which is questionable on both the victim and abuser.
Let's talk about the hypocrisy in AEW for just a second.
Ooh, hypocrisy.
So, Kenny Omega, guns. The guns, guns. Billy Gunn, done, right? WWE now has the machine guns, but I think they were on AEW for a minute, but they might not have been. I'll retract that. But if they did, guns, right? Well, they have a thing called Fight for the Fallen. They started that. Its whole purpose was gun violence in schools.
What? This company? They would
And so now they're like, well, if Kenny Omega shoots people, it's fine. It's fine.
We're not talking about what they do the other days of the year. It's just that day that makes a difference, Travis.
I'm sure Kenny Omega would go bang on that day too and not even realize that he did it. And they wouldn't say anything. It's just like, look, either you stand for it or you don't. Right? Like, if you're going to stand for something, stand for it. But don't just today I stand for that. Oh, it's so terrible. Well, we know it's terrible when that shit happens. But you created a whole fucking program for it happening and given all proceeds to charity because that happened. So now let's not be hypocrites because we're standing for something. By the way, I'm 100% for doing the bang stuff. I'm just saying that.
I get weird.
If somebody says that I'm against that and then does it,
you're a hypocrite.
That is the definition.
Yep. So it said this past episode of Raw is the first time they had some sort of problem. People says Kenny has a sweet anime tee. I wasn't really looking at his t-shirt.
Nice.
Vindicator says, hey Travis, just randomly curious. Do you know if welders make a lot of money in Idaho?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Not
can.
by law, but it depends on what you mean by law. But yeah, they make good money.
People says, here's another perspective about Drew and others upset about the LA Knight and Logan Hall spot. Think of it as a stage play. And somebody missed their spot, or Logan actually went way over his spot. And that's honestly the reason why the cameras missed Drew's elimination. Probably. Chris says years, that's like a waste of time bringing Joe fucking Hendry all the way from TNA. They better gave him a bag, man. Right? Lots of money.
It's all right because he'll make that money later. Right? Like sometimes you have to invest in yourself while it's like, hey, I'm going to have to go, even if it was free, right? I'm going to go be in the Royal Rumble. So people go, who's that guy? You know, or whatever. But he got a pretty big pop. So people know who he was. And he performed well.
Stephanie says Nia Jax eliminated most of the contenders that could win the Rumble before Charlotte came out. The women's Rumble wasn't that predictable.
Let's also give props to Maxine Dupree. She's literally like the definition of the diva from the old days.
Yeah.
And she just did it. She came in, she diva'd it up. She looked fantastic. She performed amazing. Was eliminated pretty quick, but her whole minute and a half, she was the attraction the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people couldn't take their eyes off of her. She got eliminated. Even Danny was like, oh, she should have stayed in longer. That is just leaving them wanting more.
And the fact of what kind of response they got on the internet from all the Joe Schmoes out there for it, too. Good, positive, stuff. Which wasn't the case for the Jey Uso thing. There were a lot of people on a lot of Twitter feeds that were not happy. And those are the fans you don't want to not have happy.
Most people that watch wrestling understand it to an extent. Jey Uso at his best is a mid-carder.
And he got a mid-card title.
And he had that mid-card title for 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And that was enough.
Now put him back with his brother since his brother's back. And put him towards getting their
championship
tag team champions
gold,
again.
Where they can be a little bit more main eventers as a tag team.
Instead of riding this whatever wave that they think they're riding with this dumb shit.
It's because of McAfee.
It's just a fad. It's a fad. And all these people are just bandwagoning on at this point.
It's because McAfee.
That's what we should watch. Is the Puppy Bowl.
It's only on a half.
That's what we should watch. We're gonna have to watch that other crap, though, aren't we? Sophie says, I'm surprised we didn't get a Becky Lynch Jade Cargill in the Women's Rumble. Oh, hey, buddy. Did you decide to come upstairs?
No, they decided to do Alexa Bliss and Nikki Bella.
Yeah. People says Pyro Gog. I know, and they were both, Bliss kind of got a little bit of a pop, but Bella got, it was so bad. So bad. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, look. And that lady, where they had the camera, it was perfect timing. She comes out and that lady's just ugh.
And those are great seats. Those are expensive ones.
They're the expensive seats.
And
she's just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I spent all our fucking money on this garbage.
They better do better in the men's. Fuck.
Right?
At least Cody killed Kevin Owens. Although he came back and killed Sami Zayn last night. Then they went off the air and Sami Zayn had to be taken out on a stretcher when they came back.
Right.
Well, they didn't come back, but.
Right, for all the people in the audience got to see.
And CM Punk was crying.
That's bad. That's stupid. Moses Pyro got crazy excessive. Sophie says at least Triple H went the unpredictable route with the Rumble winner because last 4 major events, fans say Triple H played it safe. Mm. Oh, so you're saying that he got paid off this time instead, Sophie? Because that's how I see it. Who paid him off?
Nobody's paying people.
Oh, somebody paid him to put that.
You think they paid him with food stamps?
As a winner. Yes. Chris says the Bullet Club guns up. Kenny was shooting guns in Japan. Also, Finn Balor did it first, but then Kenny made it his taunt. Sophie says, I'm kind of surprised we got 5 NXT women in the Women's Royal Rumble.
How the fuck do you know all that?
Just thought we would
do you
only
sit there
have
with a pen and a paper and
tops.
circle them 1, 2? There was 5 of them. I know they were there.
People in that.
I know at least 3 of them. Right? Because Roxy and then the 2, Valcor and Gulia.
Mm-hmm. Lash Legend.
Oh yeah, Lash was in there. And then, is she talking about the strong woman from TNA? Or is she on the main roster?
I don't know, Jordan Grace. Is she on NXT or is she on main roster?
No, I didn't see her last night.
I don't know. Pickle says, do you think Swerve just loves bleeding? Yes, he loves bleeding. Sophie says, we didn't see Travis winner Ric Flair at all, thank God.
I know, it was
I was unhappy. I wanted him to be there. So he said it sounded like Drew was eliminated a lot earlier than he was supposed to. Chris says Logan got in a heated argument with Kai Cenat in the crowd at the Rumble. Oh, is that why he left? Is that why he kind of just left? Logan. No, that was on Monday. Never mind. He kind of left on Monday.
So when he was coming down to the roll, he just grabbed some fan's phone and threw it on the ground and shattered it.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know if that was a plant or not, but the guy is like, my phone.
People says that's typically the right way to do it. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Chris says Maxine was great, man. So he's like, Maxine Dupree is this generation's Stacy Keibler. People's like, who's Stacy Keibler?
Okay, I would like to say I agree, but I don't. As Keibler was very leggy, and like she was lengthy. She had very long legs. Or Dupree doesn't. She has a very long torso. She's all torso, and her legs are short. But she is definitely as pretty as Keibler.
Chris says, apparently, finally, Canelo is about to take the fight with Jake Paul. I hope he knocks Jake Paul the fuck out, man.
Oh, Paul will get hurt. Like, I don't think he realizes the difference in talent level.
Canelo with Jake Paul?
He'll break his face. Like, he'll break his bones in his face. Canelo is so different of an athlete that when he boxes, he punches people in their arms while he's fighting, and you're like, oh, they're blocking it. No, he's damaging their freaking skin in their arms, and then they start to swell and bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can't use their arms to punch. Like, he's like a special type of athlete. Jake's never faced anything of that level. Anything of that level. Even the UFC fighters that he fights, when they were fighting in the UFC, weren't at Canelo's level comparatively in boxing.
Right.
He's the best in the world. He's only lost to Bivol, and it was once.
Mm-hmm.
And Bivol, he went up to Bivol's weight class and said, I probably don't want to hang out here too long.
Right.
I want to see an uppercut. Paul would just go down with his knees touching.
People says, imagine. Technically, if Jay wins the world champion, then he will become a Triple Crown winner as well.
Is that how it works? You only have to win one of each title? I thought you had to win them all.
Sophie says, but there were fans that were happy about Jey Uso winning, and one of them is a channel I usually go on when I'm not in here. They predicted Jey Uso to win the Rumble. People says that's a milestone for A-plus players, like the first ballot Hall of Famers and also Juan Cena. Always seems like KO finds a way to get in an illegal move like the package pile driver. So it says Roman versus CM Punk versus Rollins. It will be interesting to see how they set that up. Pico says, focus at the ring to excellence. The new world tag champions are here.
Right.
Somebody says Jordan Grace will be on NXT for a short time before she gets promoted to the main roster.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Stacy Keibler was paired with the Dudes Boys for a short time. Pico says, all right, business is about to pick up. Gun Club Bang Bang. Guns up, yatches. God.
Hey, little gun there's been working out.
Right.
Look at Bobby. It's like, so you hang out in the gym?
Sophie says, I meant Dudley Boys. And then Chris says, but Canelo is also going to fight Terrence Crawford later this year.
You think that'll happen? Mm-hmm. I have a hard time believing that.
That'd just be a waste of time.
Terrence said he's retiring after this year and he wants to fight Canelo.
What a dumbass. Sure, why don't you go out?
He's awesome.
As a dumbass, but instead, I get it, but still. Somebody says there are some people comparing Jey Uso's story to Daniel Bryan and Kofi.
Why would you compare it to that? It's more like the Rockers or something when the Rockers broke up. You're comparing him to singles wrestlers. He's not a singles wrestler. He's a tag team wrestler. So he's the British Bulldog? Or he's Marty Jannetty?
Chris says, then there's so many shit-talking vids of Logan Paul laughing at Conor McGregor, and he makes fun of Logan for coming to WWE and says the fight can happen because of UFC and WWE. Well, considering that they were at the inauguration together and like were in the same sitting area plus the same car when they came, I don't think there's too much bad blood there.
Right.
I'm
No, they're
pretty sure they're probably like friends.
He'll bring him on his show. I guarantee it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah. Sam says, do you think if CM Punk or John Cena won the Rumble, they would have the same reaction Jey Uso got from winning the Rumble? If CM Punk won the Rumble, no. I don't think they'd have the same reaction. Like, people would probably have been like, yeah, fuck yeah, he deserves it. Because they all think Punk got, the dirty end of a stick. So. You just can't compare that with Jey Uso because Jey Uso has always been a tag team guy. He's never been a singles wrestler. And them trying to make fetch happen with him is just not a good look at this point. It's just weird. People says there are some people that compare Cybertruck to Transformers, right? That's because that's it. Sophie says Jay beat someone that we can't see.
Fact. Oh, look at Harley Cameron on Saturday. If anybody missed that, you missed the match of the year. And then after the match was over,
oh my God.
With her ventriloquist.
Her
Holy
puppet.
shit. Dude,
Oh,
she is a special talent that immediately needs to be picked up by WWE and immediately pushed. She's better than any...
Oh, there she is! Look, the CEO's there!
There it is. Speak of the devil. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're nice.
Yeah, of course we don't. Fuck. Oh no!
Oh shit. Behind you. The doll sounds so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Are you stupid or are you dumb? Well, they both mean the same thing. So. Harley Cameron is the greatest. I wonder if you could buy that little doll.
Or if the proceeds go to Harley and not that dumb Twitter bitch. Look at her finger.
Yeah. She's done it. She's won the internet. She's won the world.
Oh my god. She reminds me of AJ Lee doing her stuff. That's funny shit right there. Nicholas says, wait, I didn't get that censored line from Mini Gun. I don't know
what he said either.
Sophie says, I thought they would give John Cena the win since this was his last Rumble match ever.
Nah, I knew he wouldn't win. I was hoping he would. I mean, when it came down to the last two, but no, they want to milk it. And if he would have won, then they wouldn't need him in elimination chamber.
Exactly. Vindicator says, how disappointing. Blurring out curse words is so cookie cutter PG WWE. LOL, love me some Harley Cameron. Sophie says Jay did almost beat Gunther a couple of weeks ago at Saturday night's main event.
Almost doesn't count though, and that's what it's all about, is what you do, not what you almost do.
Piccolo says, oh, I finally caught that segment. What was happening again? She looks just like her. Sophie says it'll be interesting who will be in the chamber and who will win it. Feels like, Chris, you will be live to see that concert, brah. Chris is like, oh shit, Harley will be there.
Yeah.
And Sophie says, I feel like the winner of the Elimination Chamber match will get whichever champion Jay doesn't choose at Mania.
That's exactly how it works.
Pickle says, what's the Queen of Southside belt? Probably something she made up in her crafts and
They're
arts
all
area.
from the Japanese circuit.
I think it's one she just made up and made for herself because it looks literally like a child made it. And she is
Why are
a
you
child.
stabbing yourself? Get your nail bowls in your face.
Nice.
Just wondering why.
Chris says, yeah, Sasha, your first win was probably against your dumb friends in WWE. Like, Bailey feels like that was amazing. That was probably the best thing to happen all night.
Yes.
I love that she's making fun of that stupid bitch. I want her to continue to make fun of the stupid quitter bitch.
She's gonna wrestle her in Australia.
She's not gonna win, but that's alright.
I don't know how they could pull that off. Sasha would have to have an enemy for it to work, so they would jump her. But it would have to be very public. Like, we'd have to know who it is already.
Right.
If you wanted to do it right. Tony Khan could do it fucking stupid shit.
So this is Charlotte. Charlotte is the first female to win 2 Royal Rumbles, and they were 5 years apart.
Yeah, because it's only like 5 years old.
Chris says, I will move up in the crowd to see the concert, man. Oh, I don't care if they kick me out.
How's our audio, guys? I wonder what is actually even picking up our audio.
Oh.
Now mine doesn't. Hello.
Is that better?
No. It's definitely not that. That's yours. What else would be picking up audio? That.
Is it picking it up through our stuff?
Probably. Mine's not on. That would be there's on.
Are you guys?
We're not. That's not earlier. Yeah, but they probably turned off because that was.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to host. Now go back to it. Booyah. All right. Is that better, guys? Sorry if our shit was all weird. Did it sound echoey and just stupid?
I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't know. I'm asking people at home.
My stuff stopped working.
Still not?
It stopped working again.
Well, turn off now.
Well, I turned it off earlier and then turned it back on.
I need to figure out how to reset that so it starts over. Because now mine's not working. Okay, they're both connected.
Okay, I can hear her now. Can you?
Yeah, oh yeah. I just want to see if there's like a reset button. Not that I'm going to use it, I just want to see it for later.
Weird. Yeah, that was weird. Where was our audio going to then?
Just something. You know, probably that computer probably has a built-in mic.
Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, let's see. Hey, are you guys like hearing anything underneath us? Like, I'm not gonna talk, and let me know if you guys are hearing anything.
The Proto-Star.
I think it just picks up everything.
Is that what they said?
No. Excuse me, I was watching it while you were doing stuff and it was moving even though I was quiet, and so I was like, is
Now?
it picking up?
Nothing.
Yeah. But it was picking up you clicking and like
other
stuff. So I was making sure it wasn't picking up like the
These are high quality. It's like H2O.
The sound from the thing. Anyways, let's see. Let me catch up on what people said earlier. Sophie said, do you think Charlotte will do what she did after she won the 2020 Rumble by going after the NXT Championship?
No, not even a little bit. She's going after, what's her name? Tiffany.
Sophie says it sounds like Bliss might be on SmackDown. Chris says maybe they give Harley the win via DQ. Sophie says no, the female Rumble started in 18. Pico says this is sort of the equivalent of when it's Halloween and Abaddon gets a title match out of nowhere.
Yeah, they started it with Ronda Rousey. She was kind of the first one. Remember, it was the main event. Ronda Rousey's the only main eventer they've ever had in the women's roster.
Yep.
And I'm not kidding. Like, she main evented, or the Rumble main evented, and she showed up at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then she main evented WrestleMania with Charlotte and Becky. The only women's WrestleMania main event ever. And it'll probably it'll be the last unless there's another famous woman that comes from somewhere. But there's no one in MMA right now that has anywhere near her popularity.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
To transcend sports. And Clarissa Shields doesn't have that type of popularity.
No.
So there's no other athlete. So it's going to take like a female Logan Paul to do it.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be somebody that's famous somehow, but that's very athletic to come in and do it. So she's going to have to be like a gymnast. Like, what's her name? The quitter for the Olympic team.
Oh, yeah. Simone Biles.
But she's too small. So
Yeah.
it'd have to be somebody like that. But she'll have to make a name. So it's not going to be in the next 10 years, but it could happen still. But that's what it's going to be if they ever want to main event WrestleMania again, the women. Because their women's talent isn't there. What's her name? The main girl, Rhea Ripley. She's not capable of main eventing, especially over Roman, you know what I mean? Or The Rock.
Right.
Or any of those. There's like 5 people that would main event over her.
Chris says, yeah, I haven't heard any updates about Asuka. And Piccolo says they have the Aussie inclusion for at least one title match in Brisbane. Well, the audio is gone out. Oh, wait. Chris said audio is fine. Sophie said Tyler Bate seems to be coming back soon. Piccolo said earlier, good to go. And then Sophie says, it sounds like they are slowly making Dirty Dom a face. They also set up a match between him versus Finn. Piccolo says, are you talking, Travis? I can hear D more. Booyah, indeed. Much better.
Booyah. Booyah.
Sophie says, you're okay, don't worry. Triple H probably already have a Mania card in mind until The Rock shows up one day and tells him, let me wrestle against Roman or Cody, and that could mess up the whole Mania card.
Sure could.
Piccolo then says, so the first part of this stream, it had a bit of a low hiss, but since you've adjusted it, it's much clearer.
Yeah, it's actually the real microphones that we bought.
Piccolo says, oh, Caitlin Clark is all elite, and then Piccolo says, or not.
Caitlin Clark. Yes, Caitlin Clark, but she would have to go to WWE.
Don't put her in all elite. That poor girl. She's way better than that.
I meant
that other one, though. I'm just kidding.
That's what I mean. WWE.
Did you take those out of all the boxes and just shove them in a thing?
Yeah, so we know where they're at, and they're all... So it's not like a weird... Like, oh, I need to keep them in the plastic type of thing.
You're a strange person. they can get lost.
No, they can't.
For sure.
Who's gonna lose a tote?
You. You will lose
Hey, where
the
did
tote.
you put that tote?
Hopefully it didn't do anything.
Not the hounds of hell. Chop. Look at this. Brody King. Whooping people's ace. Hey, look, our thing's not working either. Nobody told me that.
Oh, nobody said anything about the chat not being there. Somebody's usually on top of that. Copy.
I was looking for it.
So we said that it's karma for boycotting Raw. Not really. So it says, you guys always seem to have some sort of technical difficulties.
Yeah,
Every once
it
in a while,
happens.
and that's what happens when you have technical things. Especially when you start, like, doing new stuff.
Yeah,
That's usually when you have problems.
Right.
Like, it'll work. You're like, okay, it's all set up and it works. And it's like, oh, it's great. And then the next time, something happens and it just doesn't have all the right problems it did before.
It's like, well, because it's all new stuff. Like, we have a brand new computer that only is used for this.
Yeah.
We've got brand new monitor that's only used for this. Now we have brand new mics that are only used for this.
A brand new camera that we only use for those.
Brand new camera. So everything's new.
And a brand new, and then we added, because we
wireless.
have wireless, we added wireless headphones.
For ourselves.
To hear, so we didn't have to have a cord running across our floor all the time that's hooked up to the TV.
Yeah.
And throughout the vicinity of the room.
Now we just need a cordless camera.
Right.
Wireless.
People says, didn't know I wanted Takeshita and Brody one-on-one. Me neither.
Right.
Feels like, think about it. You've done this for over 5 years and maybe had a handful of mishaps.
Oh, yeah. There's.
I mean, I really don't look at it. I mean, it's all learning.
I actually, when I was first doing this and it would go bad, I was like, this is cool because I'm learning how to fix things as we grew on the fly. So, like, now if the chat's not there, it's not even, it's like, I can just fix that real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, the audio's weird? I'll fix that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't panic. Be like, I don't know what to do. Like earlier, when these weren't working, I was like, I have no idea what to do. So I just unplugged the box. And so we bought this, like, old man box for old people. So you could watch TV really loud while everybody else is watching it at normal volume because you're old and you can't hear very well. That's what this is for. But it has up to 2.
Yeah.
And so ordered it.
So it's old people here. No,
Because
it's so
we
we
can't
can
have
listen and
you
you guys don't hear anything. So.
Is this the new Farter one? Or is that just a comic book? Is that Kelly Kuko?
I don't know who's voicing it.
Sounds like Kelly Kuko or whatever her name is. Kyla Kuko. Yeah, it's definitely her.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't
just
know her
told you.
voice enough.
12 years of Big Bang Theory, you have no idea?
I didn't watch it like you did. Literally did not watch it like you.
I'm worried that I'm about to fall in love.
As people outside, it's really not bad, right? I mean, the major mishaps that we may have had. Sophie says, at least it isn't what happened with Raw on Netflix this past week with a lot of glitching. There are some channels that have been doing this for years and they have done plenty of problems.
Well, yeah, you gotta face.
Then why do you give us such a hard time?
You've got to face the problems as you're doing it. I got skills. What was the skill earlier?
Is that a skill?
No, what was the skill? It wasn't patience, it was something else. And I said, oh, you could put that on your resume.
It was something about being a basketball player.
Oh, I know, but what was it? Something's a skill. work ethic or something?
No.
It was something like that, though.
I thought it was... Like, it makes mine do stupid shit when you do stuff. I don't like that. It didn't do that before. Do you think it's because they're the same?
It's just working?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wonder if it's because they're the same type.
They have the same number, too.
I wonder if that's why.
Yeah.
I bet that's why. We'll have to go back to using the other ones.
It's fine. I don't care.
I just thought it'd be cool because they were nicer, but...
That's fine. Let's try it.
I bet that's why it's having a problem. Because we didn't that first day we used them. They didn't have a problem. Sophie says they released a trailer for the new Jurassic World movie. Feels like cough. So Pat McAfee loves some pumpkin pie here. Right? That pumpkin pie. Sophie says, and some channels just started doing watch along not that long ago, like a year or two ago.
Yeah. I mean, there's always new and there's always old.
So they were kind of just set up to like record themselves, do their news, and then send out a video. Yeah. We did live from the beginning.
Right. I don't know if I have to do it myself up there or not. It's ready to air.
Yeah, you probably have to go up there and...
For the fifth time.
So everybody's like, do you tell YouTube when you take a day off? No.
No.
We don't tell anybody. We don't even tell you guys. The only people I told was our mods. I was like, we're not going to be there. Travis said no. And I just followed along like a little sheep that I am and said, okay.
Baba black sheep. How's yours doing?
Really loud.
Why turn it up? Up there. Once I get that floor done downstairs, I can put that fridge there and put this on top of it. Just been waiting for the floor to get done.
On top of the fridge?
Between the furnace and the room. I was going to put that fridge that you bought that's just in a box. There.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in here.
Don't touch me over.
Mm-hmm. Get you out of the way.
Mm.
It's a joke, but... I mean, I have some room. See, that would fit there. Without moving too far.
You're funny.
Anyways, this seems to be working way better. You?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's what the problem was.
It's like...
There's two of them? Like, what the fuck? Dang it.
It's alright. Just have to use these. There's nothing wrong with these. And to be honest, the heavy thing's on the other side on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of nice. So I don't mind. It's not like it's uncomfortable or anything. Don't need to buy another one.
You said that you didn't like the things as much. The earbud thing part.
I just don't pay attention enough to care, I don't think.
Piccolo says, yeah, in comparison, you have a group that are paid shills. Piccolo's like, I can't stand a few, by the way.
Oh.
That's what happens when you make it your life. So he says, it sounds like doing reactions for WWE was bad. That's why some channels went with the watch-along format.
Makes sense.
I could see some
Here
of them
Brody
having that
King.
problem.
He's a superstar. Just kidding. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. That's a lot of human. He got ass crack right in the face.
Yeah. Pickle says, and they are completely fake, trying to overhype a wrestler or a match win. I mean, be enthusiastic, but not fake for fuck's sake. The problem of it is some of them have like ties with WWE, and so they probably get their marching orders.
You know,
a small fry, I don't have to worry about that shit.
Well, and the problem with me, like, I can be excited and stuff, The problem is that there's really no wrestlers out there right now that do that for me. But back in the day, 20 years ago, there was still wrestlers that were around that could get your blood going, like Hulk Hogan and The Rock. Roman wasn't around yet, the kind of the boring champions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you would call them. Roman's storyline was better than he is.
Mm.
The bloodline is better than Roman Reigns.
Right.
But, you had Stone Cold Steve Austin. And there was just more things going on. I mean, I couldn't imagine being doing this when fucking, what's her name's tits were out and shit. You're like, oh my god, her tits are out! It'd be nuts doing this.
Could you imagine? Like, not only that, but like, I mean, they're pretty lax anyways. I mean, YouTube's most of the time. Sometimes they can be content,
Right.
Like, and not push stuff, or give you violations, but...
That's what I want to see. Brody King gets his ass whooped by the best in the business.
What Kyle Fletcher
Kyle Fletcher. What? Well, let's not talk about the losers. What the fuck is wrong with them? You don't say, oh, look how good the loser was. You say, look how good the winners are.
Yeah.
We're trying to build up a superstar. You don't go, what about that Brody King? They had to drop
Well,
a building
I can
on him.
see, it's sad that they lost. I mean, they're such great wrestlers, Travis.
I mean, obviously
Fucking
they pinned him,
sockface.
but they had to drop at a building on him. They had to give him HIV.
Right? It was the only way they were going to win. Otherwise.
Samoa Joe. You can't break Samoa Joe's head. He'll break that clipboard. There's nothing in there. That's just a chunk of concrete.
Sophie says when someone on YouTube takes a week off, the fans will notice and freak out like it's the end of the world.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
Sophie-
Because what did Oprah do? You got to use the Oprah Winfrey, I call it. Oprah Winfrey was on the same time, the same day, for fucking like a decade.
Yep.
She didn't miss.
Nope.
And so that's what you call it. So when you're doing something, you have to be consistent as her. She wasn't a billionaire when she started. She didn't do whatever she wanted. She had to literally, I'm not a huge Oprah fan. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that her work ethic to get her where she was flawless.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Kip Sabian and Brian Pillman are the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Every time I see him, I'm like,
they're both the same dude. You're like, does he have his beard painted on too?
Did he spray paint his face hair on this morning?
He saw him.
Ooh. Did you say tell Diddy I said hi?
Tell your daddy.
Oh. Oh, look, she's getting a little bit more scantily clad. She's never worn clothes where you can see through them.
Right.
She must be getting in better shape.
He's all chucking the camera guy out. Get out of here.
Uh-oh. MJF. He's trying to bring prestige back to the AEW.
That's it. Oh.
He was telling a fan, he's like, look at these pictures. He's like, look at these pictures. What do you notice? And the kid's like, he's like, look at all the fans in the seats. He's like, remember when there used to be fans at our shows? He's like, what changed? Why is there no fans? That's right, because I'm not the champion.
Oh, jeez.
He's making fun of his own company for not having fans at him.
Sophie says with some YouTubers, you can't tell if they're being real or being fake. Piccolo says, so no excuses now, Travis. You're capable of doing kung fu or breakdowns or the caterpillar with the new wireless gear.
Yes, I have no excuse. I literally can dance on the table except for its glass. And it would probably break in several different directions.
Sophie says, sometimes WWE flagged a YouTube channel based on the reactions to whatever the video they are reacting to. Piccolo says, oh wow, what a win by Fletcher and Takeshita.
Yeah.
And Vindicator says, so the dog pound from hell won't be as relevant without Malachi. Piccolo says, Sockface just talking BS. And Sophie says, some YouTube channels almost got eliminated with so many strikes by YouTube because of their reactions to the WWE.
It's not that. You can react any way you want. You
react
cannot play audio.
Yeah.
Like, that's why we wear these. We used to not do it.
Yeah, we used to not.
And that's how you get busted. But we didn't know it at the time. And we did. We got busted. We had to be on freaking Twitch for 9 weeks or whatever.
90 days.
90 days, yeah.
It was 90 days.
3 months.
It was a 90-day thing.
Yeah, see, mine's just on delay. Just enough to notice it. Just enough. Like, just...
Why do you look at his mouth? Don't look at his mouth.
There's only one Triple B, and she's back in the WWE.
And nobody cared.
And her name is Nikki Bella, the big-boobed Bella.
And not one person in the audience really gave a shit. It was like quiet as church mice in that fucking stadium.
Oh, shit! Oh, it's Max. No. Let it... That's a perfect... He's probably behind him. There he comes.
Pickle says, I honestly think they could be separated at birth.
Yeah, Kip.
Pickle says, I just seen a fan react to that MJF tosses toothpick. So he says there are a lot of YouTubers that rarely take a week or a month off depending on what their content is.
Yeah.
We didn't for 5 years.
Yeah, I've just been doing it lately because, it's different. WWE's kind of down. It's kind of disappointing right now. I'm hoping that it'll pick back up and be good again. There are certain things I like about it, and there's certain things that I cannot stand.
Mm-hmm.
You guys like cowboy shit. Whatever, he's a better rapper than you'll ever be.
Sophie says that streamer Aisha Speed said he is done with the WWE after he got speared by Braun.
Oh, I'm sure. See, that's the fakeness of it. But, I mean, how cool was that? He got fucking nailed. You figure they would take it a little easy on him, but he hit him harder than he's probably hit anybody ever.
Yeah, he really didn't care. Oh, God, no.
What the fuck is wrong with this?
Oh, Jesus
Why,
Christ.
Tony... well, first of all, why does this guy have title belts? Jesus Christ. This is a legend. Yeah, we don't need 80-year-old legends. Shouldn't he be working with WWE in the Performance Center like his dad did or something?
I don't know what he should be doing, but...
Jesus fucking Christ.
He also, see, at least MJF has the spray tan spread all over, right?
Yeah, I don't think...
Unlike Adam Cole, right? Oh, God.
Ooh, he swore. That'll get you in a cheap pop. Look at him. Kick him in the balls, MJF.
Oh my God, just smack him.
Nobody wants to know about his coins.
Nobody cares. Fucking Jesus Christ almighty. This is the dumbest fucking crap.
He didn't know what to say at the end. To these dark places. He lost it. To these dark places. Look at him, JF. He's like done. I'm a survivor.
Sophie says when Nikki Bella came out, it was like a pink drop. Bliss got the pop of the night with that reaction.
Yeah, and I had said that was gonna happen after it happened. Obviously, I didn't know she was coming, but when I was like, oh, well, that'll be the loudest pop of the night. And why?
I couldn't imagine.
Because people remember what she once was. She obviously does not look the same as she once did.
Mm-mm. Chris says decent promo by Goldust. Really?
Yeah,
you think?
old-fashioned promo. Well, I mean, it's better than 90% of the people out there.
Well, yeah.
Just because we don't like it, what he's saying doesn't mean that it's not a promo. Most people would have already choked. Yeah, if that little Perez girl in NXT could pull out a promo like that, put the title on her.
Oh, Jim was fall. Yeah.
I didn't even know he was in here. He must have came in when I was over there. He's so good at those.
So he's like, Rikishi must be happy about Jay. Yeah, I'm sure he niggled in somebody's ear long enough. So he says, did you see the backstage video of Roman, Jacob, Fatu, and Jimmy all congratulating Jay Uso on winning the Rumble, and Jay got a moment to celebrate with his son? No.
No.
No, because I don't care.
I don't care about what happens backstage. I don't care about what they do. I just care about wrestling.
Piccola says, a couple of AEW originals.
Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah. He is 10 pounds. 10 pounds.
Yeah.
It gets tiring after a while.
He's talking about dead people again. He never got out of his daddy's shadow.
Never.
He'll never be as good as his brother. He'll never be as good as his dad. He's in his 60s almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. There it is. Of your brother. And not only is his little brother, but he's like way younger, I think. I think Cody's like 10 or 12 years younger.
Well, he's 55.
Yeah.
So
15 years.
Cody's got to be close to 40.
They might have a different mom, for fuck's sakes.
Maybe. I don't think so, though. I think they have the same mom, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, think of how dominant Dusty's freaking genes are. Both of his sons are blonde. Like blonde.
You're funny.
Huh.
That's their natural hair color. I don't think their natural hair color is blonde like that.
Like Ric Flair's? His is real blonde. Now it's just silver, but... Oh shit, kicked him right in the gonads! Soccer style! Hey, we'll see if a team needs him for the Super Bowl this weekend.
Sophie says if Vince was still around, we would have gotten a lot of old people in both Rumbles instead of showing the new talent.
Yeah, but... so when you say old talent, are you referring to people of age or people of youth? Or are you talking about just new to your eyes? I've always wondered that because and I've brought this up before. I had a buddy that used to just talk how much he hated John Cena. And this is like 7 years ago, maybe. And then when AJ Styles showed up, he was so happy. It was the happiest he'd ever been. He was like, oh my God, this is great, you know? And I'm like, so I Googled it, and AJ and John Cena are about the same age. They're like within 1 year of each other. They might even be the same age. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, they're the same fucking age. You were just mad that John Cena, some old guy, was in the company taking spots. And now you're excited that the guy that at the same fucking age just showed up doing the same thing? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I'm in a new face. Don't be weird. That's not a new person or young people or whatever. I mean, it is a new person, but it's not a young person.
The old people.
Puppies.
And people says, guess what? I just found that Jimmy Butler got traded. Finally, this crybaby is out of Miami.
Where'd he go? Did he go to the Lakers too? Him and Duca gonna be out there.
Luca?
Duca sounds better because it sounds like poop. He took a Duca. Oh, shit. I mean, if you get ran over by a girl and you get put in the hospital and she has sex with you, I mean, you wouldn't want to sue her or anything after that.
No, then you be with her and have babies with her and go through cancer with her.
Mm-hmm. Why is there cancer?
Because she has cancer.
What the?
She gets cancer.
From killing him? Or
yes, that's probably the karma she got.
Dear God.
See what happens, Travis? Don't run people over or else.
Just saying. I have ran somebody over before.
Or take them home and put them in your freezer.
I'm not going to tell the story on here just in case. Because I don't know about the statute of limitations on that stuff. Just saying.
You're talking about your bovine experience?
No, that was a cow. I can't talk about it at all.
Sophie says, I like that there was a mixed reaction in the YouTube community regarding both Jay and Charlotte Rumble wins. Piccolo says, Widow baby smack. Yes, they're half brothers. Oh, they do have different mommies. Well, that makes sense. Sophie says, with Bliss back, wonder what the chances of a Carmella coming back is. Piccolo says Dusty's second wife is Hispanic. Are you saying that
Cody's mom.
Cody is part Hispanic then?
Mm-hmm. I think she's Puerto Rican. Huh. But I'm not sure. But I think
Chris says, nut shot. And Piccolo says, is the crowd yelling teriyaki? I don't know, maybe. That's funny if they did. Chris says, LOL, I'd have a wrestler gimmick that just does that every match. Doesn't care about winning. Like, you have a match, kick him in the balls, end of story, walk away. Easy dub, even if it's a loss, it'd be so fun.
It would be the way to do it. And then all of a sudden you'd meet your kryptonite, you know, it'd be somebody with a cup on or something. So you'd be wrestling and you go to kick them and then bam, your foot gets broken.
Oh no, not the broken.
And then they pin you or something. That's how you would lose your first match. By a real pinfall.
There was a little person on our television.
I saw it. Oh, look it! Can't go wrong with this.
Valentine's Day?
Yes, Valentine's Day. Mariah. Valentine's Day. The glamour, Mariah May. What do you say?
Right?
The
He's
glamour,
like, and... Okay.
Mariah May.
So it says AEW going to have competition with that new WWE shows that they announced the Rumble called WWE Evolve, but on Tubi, kind of interesting. People says Golden State.
When is it? Did she say when it is? Tubi? The show? The channel? Who's it competing with?
WWE Evolve, but on Tubi.
But not. She said nothing about competition.
AEW.
Oh, so Wednesday?
And Pico says Golden State is the answer to your question about that guy.
Ooh. I thought they would trade for LeBron. Now that the Lakers are kind of out of it. I figured LeBron would want to go there. Haven't we just seen this match not too long ago? She is in a fantastic shape.
For the person next to you, yes. Yes, Mariah, that's exactly.
Crazy that just me being here raises the testosterone level. So she's the what? Chelsea Green, kinda. How's that? The shush thing and her
the
walk.
Queen? I guess I don't know, babe. Maybe. Huh. Chris says, "I wonder if I should get a Joe Hendry too short." But I might end up looking like a dork. Look at me. I'm a fucking mark. I believe in deep nuts looking ass motherfucker. Look,
she's Mariah May tonight. She's playing Mariah May.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no. She's playing the role of the glamour Mariah May.
Oh. So she's using her stuff even? That's fun.
Oh, no. No. his face.
Alrighty.
Mariah should wear, or not Mariah, but her should wear
Tony?
outfits that look more like this. Actually, kind of almost flatters her. They're not showing her bottom half, if you've noticed. See how they're cutting it off?
Yeah.
She built like a bowling pin.
Mm-hmm. She is. I think she was trying to stick her butt out more, so she's like pelvic tilting forward.
Okay.
If you noticed.
Yeah.
She's not standing straight up. She's standing like Naomi does.
Yeah.
So she's trying to tilt her
There.
pelvic out.
Like
See how
that.
badly she's tilting it out? God damn, that looks disgusting. Fuck off. Gross.
She still has a pretty face. I'll give her face. I like that she did her hair like that and stuff. Because it makes her prettier. We're not gonna call her Mariah. We're not doing that. Touche. She couldn't keep up. Oh, brother.
Her perverted butler.
Serena Deeb's still around. Uh-oh. Amadada rubbing that ass on her face.
Good God.
Oh, smack! Poor Amanada. Because she's going to lose, and not only is she going to lose, she's going to lose to Mariah May's finisher.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a girl not even using her own stuff's going to beat her.
Right. So it says people of age. I mean, people like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Sting, Big Show, Mark Henry, those type of people I'm talking about.
So you want to see...
For your old people.
Right, but I'm talking about... You said more words than that. You said something about other talent or younger talent.
If Vince was still around, we would have gotten a lot of old people in both Rumbles instead of showing the new talent.
New talent, there's the word.
New talent.
So you don't care if they're old as long as they're new. Look, she ripped her hair out.
Yeah. It's just because they're just, whatchamacallit.
Yeah, Brett.
Yeah, or
Is
what
she
did she
put
put it in her pants?
That's what she gets a tail. That's awesome.
Just like, I'm going to keep this for later. Chris said May time, and Pico says, I thought that's what you were saying, like a returning Hall of Fame or something. Vindicator says, I will never understand why it takes AEW so long to get some cake on this show. Pico says, oh, in about 2 weeks, A&E have this new show premiering, almost like Tough Enough. It has Undertaker, Booker T, I think Beth Phoenix involved, showing new talent.
Oh.
So he says, would you guys be mad if, like, Damian Priest won the Rumble?
He's already been a champion. No, I mean, I wouldn't have been mad. I would have been disappointed. But I wouldn't have cared.
But at least he's a fucking regular singles wrestler and has been.
He's a singles wrestler. It makes sense.
For God's sake. That's the whole point of the whole situation. Jey Uso has never been and never will be a singles wrestler. That's the problem. The problem.
Right.
They're trying to push a tag team guy as a singles wrestler. They're trying to make fetch happen, and it just doesn't work.
And the difference between him and Kofi is Kofi was a singles wrestler before he was a tag team wrestler.
Yeah, he was always a singles wrestler for a long fucking time. Piccolo says, let's go, Tony. And Chris says, I'd have a Super Africa group, have Queen Amanada join Oba Femi, bring back Oba and Dabo, Kato, Apollo. Piccolo says, I mean,
Biggie Moss.
Chris says, good gad. This is what Tony needs. Piccolo's like, ew. And Sophie says, the new Love Hurts movie is kind of like a Goonies reunion with 3 of the stars on it.
Oh.
Piccolo says Mariah is beside herself. Although, what's a Goonie, Sophie? Chris says, what the fuck is this? Goddamn, I don't care, man. She's a dime piece to me. Oh, well, I'll take it.
Are we talking about
He's talking about Tony.
Oh.
Sophie says that new WWE Evolve show starts on March 8th and it will feature NXT talent that don't get TV time on NXT, and they didn't say if it was 2 hours or an hour. You don't know the Goonies, really? It's an 80s classic movie. Piccolo says, will she be doing her moveset as well? Cake is prevalent here. What is a Goonie? What characteristics does said Goonie have?
Do you have to pay for Tubi?
Some of it's free, I think.
I mean, for the wrestling part of it?
I don't know, maybe.
Like, what is Tubi? God damn it.
It's like...
Why is there so many damn streaming things?
Right. So, it's like, free TV. From what I understand. But they might have a pay scale thing as well. Sophie says, I meant March 5th.
Oh, what'd you say?
March 8th.
Oh.
Piccolo says, according to the internet, a Goonie are large, webbed-footed birds of the southern hemisphere, having long, narrow wings noted for powerful gliding flight.
You Goonie!
Robbie
gets its name.
Robbie's in the chat now. Says, what, you tell me thought you were taking the week off. We didn't say anything about the week. I said that Travis was boycotting Raw.
Might take Friday off because it sounds like Jay's going to be on there.
Yeah, if Jay's going to be on there, we might not be here Friday too.
But we will be back. I would assume after this, they'll go back to normal shit and not have Jay Uso everywhere.
Two
She
apparent
doesn't have
things.
two things. Well, one thing. Well, two.
Apparent things that she doesn't have. Piccolo says, Robbie, didn't you get the memo? And Sophie says, yeah, it stinks that both Rumbles had most of the catering crew, and then Apollo Crews just had surgery on his torn pec. And Robbie says, is that a new WG t-shirt, D? What's my same one I wear every Wednesday?
I did not know Apollo Crews got surgery.
I thought he was still active. Didn't he just have a match?
He must have tore his
Sophie
pec
says
in the
Damien
match.
was a tag team wrestler for part of his WWE run.
No, he wasn't. Not anything that matters.
Was he a singles wrestler that matched up with another singles wrestler, and then they wrestled together and won the tag team titles?
Right. Like, he was a champion in NXT. He was a North American champion in NXT. Probably would have been the world champion in NXT if it wasn't for Karrion Kross showing up.
From what I understand from people saying when he was in the Indies, he was his own wrestler. He was a singles wrestler during the Indies circuit, too. So... the 20 years that Jay Uso has been with WWE, him and Jimmy have been together like this. And have always been fucking tag team people. And have always won tag team titles. That's why it was such a big stinky deal for him to win a mid-card title. Because he'd never won one before. Losers. Piccolo says, nice, Ravi. Way to brown nose being tardy. Yeah, well... he sleeps a lot.
This women's division is a joke. Nobody's even stepped up to her. There's no way they can put the title back on Toni Storm, right? She's terrible.
I think she's supposed to be pretending to be Mariah May.
Right.
So isn't she being Mariah May and her terribleness too?
No. I mean, I mean, period.
Oh.
Since she got there. I do like her character where she plays parts, but the match isn't black and white.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. And I mean, come on. This Amanana or whatever, are you fucking kidding me? She's better than this. Like, this whole match was about Toni Storm and Mariah May, and she was just out there with her.
Why didn't they just bring in nobody then?
They should have done it with somebody
Why
else.
Why did they bring Queen Amanada in there if it means nothing?
Yeah, because
why didn't they have somebody else do it?
Mm-hmm. They have plenty of nobodies in that company.
They could have just got an actual nobody.
Yeah.
Wherever they're at. Pulled them off the street.
Yeah.
A homeless lady.
A hooker. Yeah.
And then just put her in an outfit and said, hey, we're going to throw you in a wrestling match with her.
Renee Capuchet.
Yeah. Make her do it. Oh, Jesus. Alrighty, and creepy.
Go kick her ass. She's like, give me a hug. Mariah, hit her right between the eyes with a steel chair.
Yeah, why don't you bring a weapon with you? She didn't think better of it. I'm Mariah.
Like we don't know who you are.
Do you know who you are?
I'm a rooster illusion. Who am I? Oh, Jesus, as they're both like freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a rooster illusion.
People say, oh, good to see you here, Brody. And then Sophie says, at least Logan Paul didn't win the Rumble for a second. I thought they were going to give it to him. Robbie says, so you still boycotting WWE for now? Sophie says, Goonies are also outcasts. People says, oh, that's all you had to say. Robbie says, oh, what the fuck? Chris says, oh, May isn't having it. And Sophie says, I bet we won't know who Jay and Charlotte will challenge at Mania until before Elimination Chamber. Pickle says, I miss Paige, or whatever her name is. And Vindicator says, so it's good that Mariah Storm got the win, but I do hope they give Queen a better push when all this is over. They won't. They literally made her all garbage in this. Why? Pickle says they always do. The local yokel gets squashed. I know, but Queen Amanada isn't a yokel local, and they literally put her in there with Toni Storm, or whoever the fuck she thinks she is, tonight, this week, and her mini personalities that she's got going on.
I agree. 100%.
They really did Queen Amanada dirty with that. That's just fucking wrong.
It was disgustingly wrong.
Chris says they should have brought in Jasmine Allure to job to Tony. I mean, they could have brought anybody that is not like...
Somebody
because she's actually on Collision and she's having fights with, what's her face? Soccer mom.
Yeah, Serena.
Serena Deeb and shit. I mean, they have like a fucking storyline going with her and then they do this? Tony, you're a fucking fuckwad. Now, unless they're like asked around the locker room and like, okay, what girl wants to go up against Tony and ruin your life, basically?
Right, because you're gonna get no attention no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't like it.
People says this is another golden promo.
I think that woman would be fantastic in WWE. Queen Amanada.
Yeah.
And you take her and like he was saying and make like a real African team.
Mm-hmm. Chris says, hug her, hug her, hug her. People says, I'm confused. Who is who again? Chris says, God damn, I'm gonna need a poster of that shot of Tony. Robbie says, who's that twat with Halloween makeup on?
It's fairly polarizing in here. I'm sure it was all Tony, all that.
Are you talking about Toni Storm?
Or are you talking about Renee Paquette?
Which twat are you talking about, Robbie, that has Halloween makeup? Appreciate learning tree. And I think I speak on behalf of all Zazer peoples when I say I'm drunk.
Fact. Who we talking about?
Mm-hmm. Somebody we
Will
don't want.
Hobbs. I want Will Hobbs there. But yeah, you could put Amos and her together immediately. Right?
A moss, huh?
Yeah. The size of Amos. Then you could take, like he said, Omafemi.
Mm-hmm.
Apollo Crews. No, just kidding. I'm teasing about that part.
He said Apollo. Dabakato.
Well, that was the other guy that was with Apollo, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then don't advertise it or anything, and then just have them come in right to the main roster.
Mm.
People will be like, who the fuck are these guys? Because a lot of people wouldn't know Amos, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. He should be called the American Werewolf. Kind of got that. Oh, shit. Did you see him come running up and kick him? He kicked him like in the lower shin. But he was jumping in the air and he's like, I got you, you son of a bitch. So it looks like it's just going to be on Tubi, and I guess Tubi's just free. So I don't know if they have like a pay where you can not watch commercials.
I don't know. These are the Outrunner guys.
Yeah.
Piccolo says... Oh, Robbie said, it can't be the woman, you're watching the same show as me. I don't know who you're talking about.
There's
then.
3 women.
There were. I don't know what twat you're talking about with Halloween makeup, though.
There was Mariah. There was Renee. And I know you weren't talking about the other one, so she didn't have makeup on.
Piccolo says, hey, that's the meme, right? Tony is pointing at Mariah, and Mariah is pointing at Renee, and Renee is pointing at Tony. Yeah. So it says Charlotte and Andrade are divorced and have been for almost a year. Wonder what happened. No, they're separated and have been since June of 2024.
I don't think they're married anymore.
You think they got the divorce finally?
I think they're divorced. I thought it was they were divorced, like separated.
The only thing I saw was that they were separated.
Oh.
Separation and divorce are completely different things.
Yeah, it just means you're sleeping with other people, so.
Because separation usually means that you're on the yes, you have divorce in the wings.
I get it. I'm teasing.
But what I saw when we
so
did
you
it
can't
was
even pay for Tubi. It's
free.
They don't have a pay option.
That's what I thought. But I was like, I don't know for sure, but that's what I thought.
Yeah, I guess we have to download, but then we'll be able to watch like every episode because it's on during AEW, the exact time.
Oh, huh.
Might make AEW worth watching if there's any talent. Knowing freaking Triple H, they'll all just be little baby boys.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and the other people that are involved, so probably. Piccolo says Jericho is girl mathing, doubling 100K is 200K, but not 250K, Chris. Robbie's like, Big Bill, laughing. And Piccolo says, Canadians can't count, I guess. Vindicator's like, alright, guys, I like Swerve, but I'm not sticking around just for Ricochet.
Oh.
So you all take it easy, stay classy, Piccolo, and I will see y'all next Hump Day. Peace out. Okay, bye then. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be here. Unfortunately, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Swerve on Garbage Face.
I don't mind Swerve.
I said I don't mind Swerve, but I don't want to see the other one.
I know what you're talking about.
Chris was like, the Outrunners. The Piccolo says, see a Vindicator. And Robbie's like, some guy was talking.
Here again, now,
the old man?
Let's talk about Tony again. Seriously, I want to sit down with him and just ask him questions, but here is a serious thought, without being an asshole.
Ooh, are you sure?
Said wrestler...
I feel like asshole is coming out.
Said wrestler, you can put in a name. In real life, it's Ricochet, but we're going to put in any name. Is a mid-card at best talent in WWE. And when he wrestles mid-carders in WWE, he loses
Okay.
Okay. So whoever this person is, now he wants out because he's not being used correctly, whatever. Who gives a shit why? So he leaves. His contract expires, so he leaves. If you're another promoter, you don't go grab him and say, you're now on main event. You're a main eventer here. The reason is because you, at least in my head, is you don't want to say, well, if you're a mid-carder in this company, that means you're better than the best we have.
Right.
Because that's what they're saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're better than Will Ospreay by far because we put him on first.
Right, yeah.
You're better than Kenny Omega because he also came out.
And Kyle Fletcher, because he
way
was in the
better
match
than Carl Fletcher because Fletcher came on at the very, very middle.
MJF.
Way. I mean, MJF's not even in the league with this
He
guy.
came out to talk and got interrupted twice.
Yeah, like the women do in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, zero. And then Chris Jericho, right? I mean, and I get Jericho's a star, but at what point? You know what I'm saying? But anyways, now you're main eventing every single week on this show. The fuck? No, that's not how you do it. Now Swerve, he can be a main eventer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that. Swerve also was terrible in WWE,
Mm-hmm.
but he never really got an opportunity on the main roster. He was a NXT star. He came over. Guess what? They didn't put a title on him.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? They didn't push him. They didn't do shit with him. He earned it. He caught fire. They ran with it. He became champion. They took it off of him. And now he's still relevant. He's still a star in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So he deserves to be there. I'm just saying that Ricochet, you can't bring over a mid-card guy and say you're better than everything that we have.
Yeah. No, it's true. You can't. I
Now-
don't feel like you should.
I mean, now it's different if you bring over Seth Rollins, or you bring over Roman Reigns, or you bring in CM Punk.
You swerving?
You have to swerve sometimes. Is that how you drive when you're alone?
I dance around like Prince
No,
Nana.
this one here.
That. I
Yeah.
do that.
When the music starts. No.
That.
There you go.
I do that.
That's how you roll your window.
Uh-huh.
Your center window thing.
Yeah.
Oh, shit!
And then I do this.
Yeah.
With my steering wheel.
Yeah.
And then I get pulled over for drunk driving. And then I have to tell them I'm not drunk. I'm dancing Prince Nana. And then I have to show them the videos.
Right. And tell them it's okay, because AEW said I could do it at home.
They never said I couldn't, so.
Right. Which means that you can, because they said. It's not up to just WWE to run commercials that don't do this at home.
Chris says, yeah, I saw they were divorced. So Sophie says Saraya admits her AEW contract expires in September and she is open to going back to the WWE.
But for what? What would you do with her? Say you could book her, what would you do with her?
Yeah, Sophie, what would you do with Saraya / Paige if you brought her back into the WWE?
Remember, her neck's terrible.
And she was never ever cleared by any of the WWE doctors. She did the same thing as Daniel Bryan and went around to 50,000 of them to find one that would say, okay, you can, and then went to AEW with it. Because WWE was like, yeah, no.
Uh-oh, there's the bell. Oh, shit. Big ol' knee.
Chris says, or the divorce was filed already. Chris
That's
says,
it.
yeah, not gonna
Done.
watch Rico shit. Chris says, dipshit driver. And then Sophie says some YouTube recappers were happy about Jay winning and they were all surprised that WWE went that way. I'm guessing The Rock won't be wrestling at Mania. Pickle says Spot Monkey Boy goes to the circus mud show wrestling that he is destined to be part of.
I want to do that. I know you're against it, but I want to do that.
The whole thing.
Well, maybe not that big. Kind of seems absurd to be that big. But you know what I'm saying. That is way cool. But then that'd be cool to do the whole wall. Not the whole wall, but a wall that hangs.
Piccolo says Buckaroos eventually will piss off another one of the new additions. I mean, it's only February. And Chris says, well, they put these guys as main eventers because they joined and ditched WWE, so by virtue they are going to be pushed. But I get what you're saying, Travis.
It's ridiculous, though. You can't.
So you're going to tell me that their homegrown talent that they have grown for 5 years is garbage compared to the garbage shit that WWE swept out the door and said, you're shit. And then AEW is like, no, your mid-card guys are top tier. They're so much better than the guys that we grew here. Way, 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 way better. So we're going to put them in the main event because, they deserve it.
Right. And fans somehow like this gymnastics stuff. I thought Sting was going to hit him.
Yeah, he should have.
But anyways, I just don't like the precedent it sets to say, hey, if you come here, you're more important than our people, and so it's okay.
Yep.
And to be honest, let's not pretend that they didn't do it with Will Ospreay as well, because, I mean, I get WWE because I understand WWE, but New Japan, right? Hey, your guys that you're not re-signing are better than anybody we have. Mm-hmm. It's almost that same thing.
Piccolo makes a point, too, says, I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to go back and read everybody else's, but he says, let's be honest, TNA did that for Nick Nemeth. He's better to be the champion over Moose. There you go.
Yeah.
Another one.
Ridiculous.
Ravi says, Saraya, no one really cares if she is in wrestling. Sophie says the divorce news came out a couple days ago. Piccolo says, whose house? Cue the music. And Chris said, yes.
Swerve's house?
At least when Vince brought in WCW cruiserweights, he only chose 2, Ray and Eddie, and the rest were buried. You could make an argument for Chavo and Benoit as well, but where are they now? Ray, last one.
Yeah.
Robbie says the mid-card is the new top guy.
Well, let's not pretend that half of those people are dead.
What? We can't pretend that, Travis. They're alive and well. It's fine. It's fine. Sophie says at this point, Charlotte will be breaking her dad with divorces since this will be her 3rd at her age. Chris says also Booker T, but he's just being a creep in NXT now. Picole's like, ouch. And Chris says, why is Swerve wearing a Santos Escobar jacket? Robbie says, Booker T, what a prat. And Sophie said some of the AEW talent were just on that Jericho cruise. Piccolo says, ma'am, we will tease you if you show us another AEW video. Right? Exactly, Piccolo. The poor cop. They'd be like, oh my God, stop it, woman. Sophie's like, Disney Plus lost $700K in the last 3 months of the year. Aww. I don't feel bad for them at all. Fuck them.
What happened?
Disney Plus lost $700K.
Oh, that's nothing. Wait.
In the last 3 months of the year.
700K people?
Like, 700K, like...
money. Because that's nothing.
700K money or 700K subscribers?
Right. Because 700K money is nothing.
Yeah, for them, that's nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's like pennies that you find on the ground and stuff in your pocket.
Yeah, that's...
Chris says, for me, it's because Ricochet looks like a jobber with these briefs. Like, I could at least take him more seriously when he wears tights. Like, I know that's weird not watching or liking someone for their gear. I don't know. There's a lot of women that wear weird, gross gear that I don't like. I mean, I don't necessarily like or dislike them personally. I just hate their outfits. I've said it multiple times for a lot of them. Chris says, is that weird, though? No, it's not weird. Sophie says, do you think Swerve would have been a bigger deal in the WWE if they didn't release him? I think Swerve was used incorrectly in the WWE, just like they did with Bobby Lashley, and they fucked him over, and then they went somewhere else.
Right. So the problem with Swerve in WWE at the time was they didn't know what to do with him. But right. Yeah, they could have easily... Remember, he was with that group, right? That none of them were good. Only one left is B-Fab, and Ashante's down in NXT. That was his group. Do you remember that? Top Dollar and all that?
Yes.
But anyways, they brought him up first without them. And then he was gone, and then they brought them up, which made no sense. They probably could have brought them all up together. It would have made a little bit more sense with him as their leader. And maybe things would have been a little different. But that's why groups are so bad or so good.
True.
See, like the Bloodline was fantastic. It made Jay a mid-card star.
They made him something. They made his name something
But
that
it was
wasn't with his
because
brother.
of the Bloodline, because of Roman. It was that whole thing. Remember, they had all the matches together. And then when Roman wasn't there, Jay had to do all the dirty work. And they put him in the main events, not because he's talented, but because the Bloodline storyline. And then people forgot that that's why they put him in those matches. And then the new regime came in, and they're all like, "Oh, he's a main eventer." And it's like, what the fuck are you watching?
See what they did? They literally
Tricked themselves.
mind fucked all of you dumb assholes into thinking something stupid. Good job. You've all been brainwashed. Congratulations.
You did it.
Chris says that, as if says, do you think... Oh, I read that one. Ravi says, how's Ricochet main eventing a TV show? Fuck if I know, dude. Maybe he got on his knees. Piccolo says, let's be honest. Oh, I read that one. Sophie said Paige could be a guest coach in NXT like they sometimes do with former WWE talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing about what, Sophie, is that Paige was in WWE as a backstage person. She was in the back doing stuff like that.
I love it.
And she didn't want to do it. She left. She wanted to do it. Yeah,
I love the idea of her being a coach.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. She was the one that was unhappy with it. It was weird.
Yeah, I don't want to see her wrestle.
I don't either. She's terrible.
I don't want to see her in those types of clothes.
Me neither. Ugh, it was awful. It made me sick.
Yeah, she's not attractive like that. Her upper body is, but her lower body is evil.
Well, she only had to help her upper body be that attractive, and that wasn't that good.
It was nice.
Like, it's almost too much.
It is.
It's like, I get it, but come on, girl. Like, seriously, stop. Like, it's like some of those girls can pull that off, and some just can't, and ew. Sophie says, I saw a little bit of NXT with Lexus King mentioning how crazy his dad was. Robbie says, still waiting for the DSMR channel. Nobody wants that, Robbie. Sophie says, didn't AEW sign some of the WWE main eventers, though? And Pico's like, I don't know. Miro was not. Cesaro, a.k.a. Claudio, sure was not. It's true. Malachi, no. Neville, a.k.a. Pac, no.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if they ever did sign a main eventer. Jericho. Yes.
Jericho. Moxley.
John Moxley was never a main eventer. He's good, and he could main event. He main evented against Brock a couple times.
Yeah.
But by himself, he was never a world champion / main event. But if you want to call Moxley a main eventer, then Moxley and Jericho, yes.
He has some more to say about it, but I'll get to it in a second.
That's fine.
Stuff says most of the guys at AEW ended up signing the WWE was so close in getting them. Chris says, yeah, like Hot Row could have been good if they still made him the leader, but they weren't good.
Right. Well, yeah, once he was gone, what the fuck would you even bring him up for? Like, that was a disaster.
Mikella said about Jericho was being used to fight KO at the time for the U.S. title, so Chris left the E. Moxley had been on top, but only because he was pushed in the best faction since DX.
Right.
Sophie said 700K subscribers.
Yeah, wow. That's a pretty big loss, I would assume.
That's a big loss of subscribers for old Disney Plus.
What
I couldn't imagine why. Did it because they raised their prices? Oh, by the way, Netflix is going to be raising their prices again, too.
Does it have anything to do with, like, Iron Man or...
Captain America and his fake American bullshit crap?
Captain America is saying that America sucks.
Wow, did they fuck over the Marvel Universe with their stupidity of hiring stupid heads that forget what they're actually doing? Entertaining the masses?
It's like
Your
you have
own
one job.
personal beliefs mean nothing.
You have one job.
One job. One job is to be a fucking actor. I don't care about your beliefs. I don't care about what you think or say. I just want you to act in a fucking movie and do it well.
You are Captain America. Be Captain America.
Yeah.
Captain America doesn't say, well, not in America. I mean, America's stupid.
Right?
What the fuck?
Say what? Yeah. Cancel. Cancel. Cancel.
But it is weird. I mean, there's a new Moana movie or whatever.
Moana.
Milano. And so...
Moana.
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 That's what I say, Milana.
No, there's no L. There's no L.
Moana.
Moana.
Moana. Moana.
Thank you.
There's a new Moana movie. Dick. Anyways, there's a new Moana movie out. And then they're coming out with a new, whatever it's called, digital one or whatever, with humans in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's scheduled to come out.
Garbage.
So you would think that they wouldn't be all disappearing. Do you think it was just like a Christmas thing? They were like expiring from last Christmas?
I don't know. Maybe.
Because they do that big deal right around Black Friday stuff.
That's true.
And so maybe they just didn't re-up it because it would have been full price instead of that Black Friday deal that they
But
were.
usually if you cancel and then you just kind of like, they'll be like, oh, you're going to cancel?
We'll give it to you for a dime. Like, bitch, you can keep it. I mean, the only movie... Oh, what the fuck?
I don't want to know. I'm not watching.
Ricochet is terrible.
Of course he is.
Anyways, the only movie worth watching on there is Robin Hood anyways. And I can watch Robin Hood in my house.
Chris doesn't want to delete the ASMR channel. What the
Power.
fuck? You guys don't want
Power!
that.
But with his voice.
Power. Power. It's one of my favorite lines.
It's awesome.
Power. Power. Chris said that. So he says, remember Sanity and Retribution 2 groups that have potential and they drop the ball for no reason?
Yeah, Sanity, again. That Nikki Cross just doesn't have what it takes. And
Retribution? No, absolutely no.
what the
Absolutely no.
I mean, obviously you still have a member of Retribution, don't you?
Old
Reckoning. She's still there.
Garbage. Robbie says, is there a lot of Moxley fans? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that Retribution, they done fucked up with them. Like, you can't have a group and try to pretend they're badass and then have them all beat up by Bray Wyatt by himself. He beat up the whole gang
Right?
by himself.
And then they brought them back to be in his new gang where he's dead, but his brother's running it.
I don't think there's
I'm
any...
kidding, no.
Oh.
But it feels like it.
Yeah, it's basically the same guy. Oh my god, they just had Ricochet beat Swerve. Stupid shit. Oh my god. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Okay, maybe not. Saturday was the dumbest thing I'd ever seen in my life. He just pushed down some old man. Look, somebody threw something. I love it. Throw all your pops. I want to see some WWE shit. ECW.
I want somebody to throw something on him and get
World Championship
thrown out.
Wrestling. WCW. That's what I'm looking for. Throw your soda at him.
I guess they want him to be a bad guy, so they want people to boo him.
They're gonna put Dustin Rhodes on next Wednesday.
I guess MJF.
This is the shit we're talking about.
Jesus fucking Christ,
What
Tony.
the fuck is going into his head?
Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's terrible and I hate it. Hate it.
Anyway,
Hate it.
what's on next? Nothing. Okay.
The event has ended. Anyways, I need to catch up on some stuff. Let's see. Pico says Swerve and the possible Brody Lee, when he was alive, were two of the most successful guys that potentially raised their stock into main eventers. True. Ravi says CD. Chris knows. Right. Pico is Mihito? Miyagi. For your names. And Chris says Captain American did join Hydra in the comics, basically equivalent of a Nazi. Okay. And then Ravi's like, Moana, lol. Feels a Moana man. Feels like I saw a botch. Sophie says they brought up Hit Row a lot earlier than they were supposed to. And Ravi says, do you have the hands for the tapping videos? Uh-huh.
Chris does now. Put your fingers up. It's not putting your finger up.
Chris says, I want a TVR to champ though.
Oh shit.
Sophie says, I wish all streaming services were somehow connected. Chris says, yep, the Fiend single-handedly took out Retribution.
Sophie,
so you want cable?
There you go.
So you want fucking cable?
So what you want is cable with some
10 years ago.
with some pay channels.
10 years ago, I fucking talked about this shit.
Oh,
And how stupid fucking streaming services were going to become. And that they were all just going to become fucking cable again. And the dumb motherfucker, nobody listened.
If you were so sure of it, you should have bought stock in cable companies.
The cable companies that have slowly died because the other companies, the streaming companies, have decided to quote unquote be fucking cable. Fucking twats. What a bunch of fucking shit. Not only that, but now they cost you just as much or more than the fucking cable companies.
Than what you could have got with just cable.
Good God. Chris says, yep, the Fiend single-handedly took out Retribution. Pico says, I almost caught your hat. What the fuck? Robbie's like, wow, Ricochet wins a match? And then Chris says,
not only
well,
a match,
I know
but
I'll
against
have
Swerve.
a good time seeing Harley Cameron concert at Collision and maybe Outrunners. And Chris says, and Daddy Magic tag team.
Yeah, you're a lucky bastard this Saturday.
Sophie says 750k subscribers. That's a big drop. It seems that happens with a lot of streaming services. They lose a lot of subscribers, but they gain them back at some point. People says, did I get pranked? And Robbie's like, cheers, D, for the Eminem middle finger. Robbie's like, I listened, D. Sure. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I don't know if we're going to be here Friday.
It really depends on if they're going to start it with Jey Uso.
So basically what it means is we may or may not be here depending on what the first 5 minutes of SmackDown looks like.
Fucking asshole.
I just want a yes or a no, but it'll be a maybe. All right. Okay, I probably won't be able to tell all of you, but if we're not here, mods, I will message you guys and just let you know.
But we will be here Monday.
But we'll definitely be here Monday
to deal with
to do Raw again. We'll be back on track. Travis will get over his butt hurtness.
Yes.
And
I got pee-diddled by the WWE.
I will just voice my hatred online as I always do. All right, everybody. You guys have a great rest of your week. We may or may not see you on Friday. If we do or don't, have a fabulous weekend, everybody. It's my birthday on Saturday. I'm ecstatic.